They teach everybody how to think, how to act, how to behave according to their standards.
Truth, not my fear.
Okay, rest is holy. Taking things off your plate is okay.
Not this world. Keep my eyes from work.
I have struggled my entire life as well with my body image. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Joanna and I'm so excited you decided to stop by. Now today I'm going to be hitting y'all with another day in my life vlog. It is Thursday, not that that's relevant to anything, but it's the preparation tomorrow because by Thursday I'm clocked out, like I'm done. I'm already fighting for my life, right? Today we have college I have a sociology lecture at 2:25. That's the only timetable thing I have today, but we still got stuff to do besides that. So I was up at 7 this morning. The OGs know that I'm normally up at 6, but I've been trying to fix my sleep schedule because I keep going to bed at like stupid o'clock and then waking up at 6. It's not working out for me. We went to bed at midnight last night, so I was like 6 hours is not sufficient, so I slept in an extra hour. Not the end of the world. But today we have a lot to do. What's new? I have some work to catch up from last week because I missed the lesson last week because I had better things to do. Don't skip school, kids. I have wedding cakes to start preparing. I have YouTube videos to film. Actually, you know what? I think that's basically it. I think that's the bulk of it, to be honest. I have work to catch up on, YouTube videos to film, and baking to do. So today's going to be a fun day. And I'm excited for you guys to come along with me. I've already read my Bible this morning. I'm back in the Torah at the minute. The real ones will know that I started the Apocrypha recently. I think the last books I finished was 1st and 2nd Maccabees. And then obviously I think it was Tobit after that. Yeah, I read that. And then I hit Judith, I believe. I think that's what it was. And I was led to go back to the Old Testament. I think it's really relevant to the time that we're in right now. Obviously, the world is upside down. We are very much preparing for the second Exodus. So I think I read Genesis, got through that nice and breezy. Oh, look! It's a child.
Oh, my days, bro.
What do you need? So during my time starting the Apocrypha, I'd already gone back and I was reading the Apocrypha as like my main study, but then in the evening I'd just read like a couple chapters of Genesis, like just starting from the beginning, going through. And eventually I was led to take that back up as my main study. It's really good. It's if you've not read the whole Bible, if you've not read the 5 books of Moses, if you've not read the Old Testament, not focused on the Old Testament period, you need to get on that. We are very blessed in that we have the example of the ancient Israelites to follow and to see kind of where they went wrong and what they did so we don't make the same mistakes, okay? The second Exodus is happening. It's happening soon, but soon, who knows when soon is, but it's gonna happen, right? And so reading the story of the first Exodus, it gives you like a sense of mental preparation and kind of just to see how things will rock and roll. Obviously it won't be exactly the same because this Exodus is going to be far greater. We have no idea how the Most High will move, but definitely led by the Spirit to go back there and just to go back over the laws in general. I think reading the Torah often is very important. So that's where I'm at right now. We've implemented a new rule, no phones allowed before I have spent my time with the Most High, because tell me why I get the most impulses when I'm supposed to be praying. Like, I'll be praying and then I'll get the random urge to Google why the sky is blue. Like, no, you don't need to Google that. So I think, or like my phone will ping and I'm like, I should probably check it. Like, no, you should be reading your Bible. So the phone, starting today, I've implemented a new rule that my phone does not get switched on until I have done my prayer, my worship, my morning study, and read my psalm. Because if we're being honest, I don't have the self-control to refrain from my phone if it's there pinging. So it's just better if it's off. But anyways, I'm gonna make some breakfast now and I'm going to do my kitchen duties, you know, emptying drainers, emptying dishwashers, all that fun stuff. And I'm not gonna show you because that's boring, and I do that every single day, so you guys will get bored of seeing me doing it eventually. And then I'm gonna make some breakfast. I'll probably go eat that, upload my daily verse to my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, why? Actually, I don't know why. I need to get more consistent posting up there, but I will, so you should follow me there. And then whilst my breakfast is giving me energy, I'll probably start some of that sociology work I need to do, and then I'll work out, and then we'll go from there. So if you're not already subscribed to this channel, feel free to subscribe. I post lifestyle content like this as a follower of the way every other week, and then I do like a sit down talky video every other week. They alternate. Make sure to like this video so more brothers and sisters in the faith can see it, and drop a comment below. I love reading your guys' comments and I try to reply to as many of them as I can. I'm hungry, so let's go make breakfast.
Joy in the morning. Ruach Yahuwah Elohim Alai. Ruach Yahuwah Elohim Alai. The spirit of Yahuwah Elohim is upon me. Yamashak Yahuwah Oti. Yamashak Yahuwah Oti. Because Yahuwah has anointed me. Levasera Navi. To bring good news to the humble, l'havosh l'nish b'delev. To bind up the brokenhearted. He sent me to proclaim freedom. La asurim. He sent me to open the prison doors. La ashurim. To declare the year of favor from Yahuwah and the day of vengeance of Elohim. Lenachem kol avelim. Lenachem kol avelim. To comfort all who mourn. Let Zion be'er tachat afer. To give those who mourn in Zion beauty for ashes. Shemen sason tachati ve. The oil of joy instead of mourning. Meil tehila tachar ruach geher. And praises to the spirit of heaviness. Agaru le'meilei hatzedek. Agaru le'meilei hatzedek. They will be called oaks of righteousness. A planting of Yahweh.
Okay, so before I actually work out, I've got some sociology work that I need to catch up on that I missed last week. I'm just gonna come out and say it. The education system is stupid. I mean, they literally test you on how good you are at sitting down and writing for 2 hours, and that is how being smart is determined. So if you can't retain a bunch of information and get it all on the paper in an hour and 45 minutes, you're not smart and you're not going anywhere in life. I don't mean to offend anyone who likes the education system or places value in how highly they've been educated, but none of that has anything to do with our Father's kingdom. They teach everybody how to think, how to act, how to behave according to their standards. Now, don't get me wrong, as believers and followers of Messiah, we have to do everything to the best of our ability. The education they provide and the information they want you to know is very selective and possibly not the greatest. But that doesn't mean we don't try. What that does mean is we shouldn't be placing our value and we shouldn't be placing our worth and our ability and limiting ourselves to what we can achieve based on what score we got in a test and what qualifications we have. Because the Father can actually use anybody. I feel like my dad is the best example of this. He was barely educated. That man is just flown in life. So if you're not the most academically smart, don't let that hold you back, because the Father can still use you and he will still use you, because let's be real, he has a knack for using the people who we would never expect. There's so much pressure in this life to reach the highest level of qualification and to be a straight A student and to do this and this and to revise for hours and hours on end. Trying hard and doing well matters, but not if you're placing it at a higher rank or higher priority than you are our Father. I stressed myself out so much last year about flying high in college, and I did fly high. I've always been what the world deems clever, but this year I vowed to myself that I'm still gonna try, but I'm not burning myself out. I'm really not doing that again, because what profiteth the man if he gains the whole world but loses his soul? Most people by now have a somewhat of an idea about what they're supposed to be doing with their life, and like they know where their next steps are after they finish their college courses. For me, I don't know. My plan is just to follow the Father and go wherever he leads me. And that kind of dependence is so humbling and is honestly not a bad thing. So at the moment I'm just studying to get your base level qualifications. If I'm honest, I don't intend. I mean, in this country you need like what, 5 or 6 GCSEs before you can actually even work at McDonald's. It's crazy. Most of my classmates will be moving on to A levels after this. Me, I think the Father's not pushing me towards doing A levels, and that is crazy. Like in society, like what, you're not doing A levels? I mean, I could at some point if I wanted to, but for now, I'm gonna just get the rest of my GCSEs. I did 3 last year, early, and then I'm doing three more this year, so I have my 6. But I feel like I'm more of a creative person. I've always been very much into writing, and I was writing a book, which has taken a backseat at the minute to do this, because this is where I felt the Father was calling me, and juggling both and college just wasn't happening. And like I said, I'm not burning myself out again. But being behind a camera and doing all of this creative stuff is something I've always loved. I mean, I've always been a performer. I was a dancer since when I could remember, but I quit that a couple years ago because the costumes, the music, it wasn't giving. But that doesn't mean I won't pick it back up at some point and use it for our Father's kingdom. Acting, singing, drama, all of that, that's my kind of cup of tea, and I hope to be able to use it for the Father's kingdom at some point. I mean, I'm using my camera skills right now. I suppose what I'm trying to say is, if you're young like me and you don't exactly know what you're supposed to be doing when you grow up, that's absolutely fine. So long as you're following our Father, Yahuwah, he will guide you and he will lead you accordingly, exactly where he wants you. There is one desire I really have on my heart, and whenever I tell people that's what I want to do when I'm an adult, they all laugh at me and they say, "You're so much better than that, Joanna." But honestly, my desire would be to have a family and to be a homekeeper and to teach my children and to have a household, have a home, and just stay at home and cook and clean all day. Don't come for me, okay? There's nothing wrong with women going into education and getting jobs, but for me, I feel called to the home, I'm not even gonna lie. And no amount of A-levels university degrees is gonna teach me how to do that. But that's all besides the point. I actually need to start my work so that I can then start my workout. So let's go through these PowerPoint slides and take some notes. Yay! Oh yeah, by the way, if you've watched any of my other videos, vlogs, whatever before, I got a new desk, which is very exciting because I do a lot of work sat down nowadays, obviously with college work and then with YouTube, editing, scripting, all that fun stuff. I found myself sat down a lot, and I'm someone who constantly needs to be doing something. Like I can sit still. I don't struggle to sit still, but I don't like sitting still. So if I'm gonna be sat down editing a video for 4 hours or knocking out 2 hours of college work, I'd rather be stood doing it than I would sat. So we've got a standing desk, very exciting. And it even goes up and down on its own with these buttons, which is pretty cool. And I think I'm gonna get a walking pad to go underneath it once I've saved up enough money, because then I can get my steps in as well, because I'm big on steps, big on movement. So that would be really fun, because then I could be doing my editing and then have my going on my walk as well. So, but I actually need to start this work now, so. I'm gonna lie to you, the work is not on PowerPoint, so I'm going to get a textbook because I've still not ordered my textbooks for this year. I need to do that, and I'll have to ask about the extra work that I missed today, because it's not there. So I'm gonna go work out instead. So we just finished my workout. I didn't do anything too crazy today, just like a little bit of core work, some cardio and some upper body strength. I am running out of time. It is 12:30. I need to get ready, hopefully, fingers crossed, be able to film this YouTube video, and then we're gonna head out to college. Let go. So we've had a little bit of a change of plan. I'm not actually going to film that YouTube video today because I don't have the longest time, or as long as I'd like to film it, and I don't really want to rush it. I don't want to ever really rush any of my content, so we're gonna shoot it tomorrow. We're gonna film tomorrow, which is okay. Not the most convenient, because if I had shot it tonight, I would have had obviously an extra day to work on it, edit it, get it ready. But I feel like I'm getting better at being more flexible with my days and allowing the Most High to lead my day, instead of be so rigid about the plans I make and then get distraught when it doesn't go to plan, because that's what I would do. I would get really upset or really stressed or really overwhelmed when something didn't go my way or something didn't get done. And the thing I've been learning is there's always going to be something to get done. People who know me in real life know that I am always busy, and that's not really necessarily a good thing. I mean, there's lots of things that I need to manage. Wait, let me get to my hair cream. I mean, there is a lot to think about between managing my relationship with the father, managing or trying to help out my household the best I can, managing my college life and all of the work and schoolwork that comes with that, managing this YouTube channel, managing my fitness and my health and making sure I'm eating healthy and exercising and moving and getting enough sleep, and make sure I'm, you know, engaging in hobbies and things that I enjoy. Like, it never stops. There is always something to be doing, and at some point something has to give. See, I was trying to write a book on top of all that as well, and I would love to finish that book, and I will, most I willing, finish that book one day. But you have to figure out what's a priority and not be upset when you can't do it all, because I posted a video, a short on this, a couple days ago, and I don't know how many days ago it was, time ago probably, talking about how overworking is just a no-no. Okay, rest is holy. Taking things off your plate is okay. And I feel like this year, that is definitely, well, I say this year, according to, you know, the Gregorian calendar, the year's nearly over. But during this time and during this season of my life, I feel like that's really something that the Father has been showing me, is that things have to give. You're not Yahuwah, you're not you know, you're human, you are man. There's only so much you can do, and we really overestimate, this is what I said in that video, we really overestimate the things that we can do as mere men, and then get upset when we can't accomplish it all, like we're literally not just dust. So my season of being busy has not come to an end. That is just a constant, you know, element of my life, is having a lot to manage, having a lot to do. But my season of overworking and not prioritizing rest, those days are gone. So I could really try and film this YouTube video right now, rush it, which is horrible in itself, and it can be one extra thing I've achieved today, or I can put it off, I can let it go, and I can choose not to stress about it, or, you know, be mardy about it essentially for the rest of the day because I didn't get it done. Like, it's really not the end of the world, and that is a huge achievement for me, to be able to look at it that way. Like, it's really not the end of the world. So I'm just getting ready now. I'm gonna go run a quick errand for my mum. Well, she made a deal with me. She said that if I took a parcel back to the post office, she would take me to college. I was like, absolutely. But then I was like, wait, how am I gonna get my steps in then? So I'm gonna ask her to drop me a little bit away from college so I can walk the rest of the way. And one of the main reasons that I wanted to get that video filmed today anyway was that I would have time this evening to begin editing it. But in reality, I've not had downtime in the evening for ages. Well, I say ages. No, it has been a while actually. It has been a while. And obviously we've been camping all week. Last night was the first night back in the house because it was Tabernacles. That was a really good Tabernacles. It reminded me, I think it was very humbling, and it reminded me of how much comfort, first of all, we have here in Babylon, and to not dwell on that or like get too enjoy it whilst it's here, but not like, how to put it into words, not like really dwell and fixate and be hung up on the comfort that we have, the food that we have here, the beds that we sleep in, the roofs we have over our head. Not to like, I suppose, get too attached to that, and be ready and be prepared to leave it all behind. That's really what it's giving. So that was a really good Feast of Tabernacles. I'm sad I didn't honestly do more content on it. Perhaps next year, if we're still here next year. But so it was the first night back in the house last night, and I was supposed to have downtime. Did it happen? No, it didn't happen last night. So maybe this, me not filming the video today, means that I can have a chill evening tonight. That would be quite nice. Do you know what else has been going on in my life recently? So if you know, you know, I'm a workout girly. I love movement, I love exercise, I love all that good stuff. I want to start running. Can I believe I just said that out loud? No, because I hated running all my life. Absolute, like, no. I mean, I grew up the fat kid. I was the fat kid who would get out of breath literally 5 minutes into PE. That was me. I love weightlifting now. I do that like 5 times a week. And that's just proof that the Father can change you, right? Because if younger Joanna saw how active I am now, she would pass out. Like, actually, she'd be like, absolutely not. So I have a lot of strength because I do strength training like 5 times a week. But my endurance, I'm not gonna say I have no endurance, because I think I do have decent, like, I have good cardiovascular health. Like, I can do a cardio workout. I'll be tired at the end, but I won't like die. But running, that's always been my weakness. Running has always been something that I just avoided like the plague, and it's never been a strength of mine. But I know that if I started running, the endurance and the resilience that I would gain, not just physically but also mentally, because running is a very mental sport. Like, it is not easy when every muscle in your body is telling you to stop and you keep going. Like, that's not a physical thing anymore. That is a mental, that is a spiritual resilience and strength that you are gaining. And I think it would benefit me massively in that area, but I have no idea where to start. Like, at all. So if you're a runner, please feel free to share some of your beginner tips and tricks in the comments, because I'm serious about this. My best friend runs so I might talk to her. But part of me wants to start running solo so that I can find my own pace and my own rhythm, because running with someone else is cool, it's chill. But then are you like really running at your own pace, and are you like I feel like you need to find yourself before you do that. So we'll see. We're just putting it out there. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm just gonna finish styling my hair, and then I'm going to probably grab some lunch. Also, okay, I used to stress so much. This is gonna sound like such common sense, right? But I don't know, it's only just clicked in my head. I used to stress so much about what to do for lunches, because like lunch is just inconvenient, right? Like I'm busy, I don't have time to cook something for lunch, I don't want to cook something for lunch, and meal prep still takes time. So do you know what I've started doing? Just cook enough at dinner time to have for lunch tomorrow. It sounds so much like common sense, but it's really helpful, honestly, because you're saving time, because like you're cooking dinner anyway, so you may as well prepare lunch for yourself. Oh my days, what's going on here? Because like, what is going on here? Hold on. Anyways, as I was saying, you're cooking dinner anyway, so you may as well use that time to get lunch together as well. You may as well kill two birds with one stone and just make enough to have for lunch tomorrow, or make enough for several days. But I get bored. Like, I like variety in my life, so I just make extra. I just make sure I've got enough for lunch in whatever I'm cooking for dinner. So I'll grab what we had last night. I think it was like a chicken curry with rice situation, and then I will run this errand for my mum and head to college. But I'll hopefully give you guys a modest OOTD before then. So okay, let's get into the modest OOTD outfit of the day. We have the linen trousers, because baggy trousers for the win, and then just this basic plain navy blue tee. Something simple, because I had no idea what to wear, but she does the job. I made my leg go dead sitting on it wrong. Hold on. Anyways, I just got back in from college like half an hour ago. I was just sat here editing. Why am I not looking in the... Okay. I just got back from college like half an hour ago. I was just sat here editing and uploading my days, my leg. Okay, we're okay. So anyways, I just got back in from college like half an hour ago. I was just sat here editing and uploading a short for you guys. All about worry, because worry is stupid. Like, what can you actually change by worrying? I was a worrier, I still am a worrier sometimes, but after realizing that you physically cannot change anything by worrying, like at all. The only thing you can do is stress yourself out, get yourself in a state, and make your mind unstable and at disease and unrest. Do you know what the Father said? That he would keep those in perfect peace whose minds were stayed on him, not whose minds were panicking and worrying about trying to control everything, because I'm a control freak, right? I'm healing from this. Like, it's actually gotten to the point where people find me annoying, because they'll tell me about something that's gone wrong in their lives, or how this didn't quite work out how they planned, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm really, really sorry to hear that, but when things go south for me now, I was talking about this earlier, I've learned to just shrug it off, because really I could stress myself out and I could worry about it not going my way and worry about what's going to happen now that the way I visioned it is not the way it's going to be. I literally can't change anything, right? And I would much rather the Father's will be done than my own will, because my own will is only based on the immediate conditions that I can see right now. That's how I make my decisions. The Father can see everything. He can see the things that we can't see. He has a bird's eye view. We only see what's right in front of us. He can see what's behind us, what's before us, and where we are right now. So I would much rather trust his will. So worry is stupid. Go pray about it. And if you're going to continue worrying about it after you've prayed, just saying. Anyways, so I'm gonna go downstairs and start dinner, because otherwise we will have a hungry family and nobody wants that. I'm trying to get into the habit of getting dinner before 6:30. It is 20 to 6 right now, so I should probably go start cooking. And whilst that is cooking up, I'm gonna bake the cakes for the wedding cake. It's not, okay, I'm not doing a whole wedding cake. It's like the preparation of the wedding cake. So it's not like a big fancy 3-tier cake with a bunch of flowers and all that. I'm just doing 1 tier. I asked the couple what they wanted. They gave me no color direction. They said they don't care what color it is. And when I asked for flavors, they just said regular vanilla sponge. So we're going to do the regular vanilla sponge with jam in the middle, and I found a really beautiful, I'll insert the picture here, it's a Pinterest inspiration picture. That's what we're going for, that's what we're going to do, because I feel like you can't hate that, it's too simple to hate, but it's simple but effective. So that's the cake we're going for. So I'm going to bake the sponges today. I think I will probably I need to really think about this. I don't think I'm not icing it tonight. No way am I icing it tonight. I was just thinking, would I have time to ice it tomorrow? I don't know, we'll figure out. You see, I could stress myself out about it, but when I find time, I'll find time to get iced. So let's go get on some dinner before we have a hangry household.
He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. Surely he is born in our sickness and carried our pain. He was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The punishment for our peace was on him, and by his stripes we are healed. Yahusha, your name above all names. Every knee shall bow, every tongue confess. You are master of all. You are the way, the truth, the life. No one comes except through you. You were in the world you made, but the world did not know you. You came to your own, but they received you not. Yet to all who believe in your name, you gave the right.
So we just wrapped cooking and baking the cakes. The cakes are in the oven. I must not forget about them. I'm pretty sure I have to hold on. Let's check the timer. Is timer right before I sit here and waffle and forget on the cakes. There's 1 second. Let's go check on the cakes quickly. Okay, 3 of them are out. 1 needs a little bit longer. But we're doing good for time. It is 8 o'clock, just gone 8 o'clock. The sociology book is back out. Why? Because I have homework that I need to do that's due tomorrow. I'm a homework the night before kind of girly, and I know this is bad. I know you're supposed to like utilize your time and get it done as soon as possible. I like it being fresh in my mind like the night before, and I also have a lot more other important things to do. That also sounds bad, but I've got homework that I need to do, and I want to do that before I shower, because after I've showered I want to like wind down, like actually take some time to decompress from the day, because I don't give myself that time often enough. Like I literally boom 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 till the second I go to sleep, and then I wake up, I have like an hour in the morning that I spend with the most time, boom 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 boom. Like, no, Joanna, please, let's not. I am truly in my healing season right now, and that sounds so, I'm in my healing season right now, like, I don't even mean it like that. No, I am genuinely in my healing season. The Father is doing a work in me. I had a rough summer and a rough year last year. I've had a lot of rough years, if we're being really real, but things are being shifted and my heart is being changed, and I can feel that. But I should probably start a Healing Diaries series on this channel as well, because I'd love to do that, and I know there's other people who are in my situation, but I'm truly being restored, not just in my mind, because I feel like that's the key thing, like in my heart and in my mind, but also in my physical day-to-day life. I.e. making time to rest, getting enough sleep, doing things that I actually enjoy, you know, making time and prioritizing those things, because often the things we enjoy can take a backseat because they might not be the most relevant or most important, but they are still important in their own way. But rest is a huge thing that I'm focusing on right now, and it sounds so ironic because my life is still chaotic and I had lots of time to rest in the summer and I don't feel like I utilized it properly. The Father is showing me grace, and even though there are so many things I'm juggling right now, college, home life, relationships, friendships, the future, like all this crazy stuff, I am still managing to find time to rest. Or am I, no, this is gonna be a word for someone. Am I finding time to rest, or am I making time to rest? Because if you don't make time, you will never have time. If you don't make, then this can apply to anything. This doesn't just apply to rest. If you don't make time for it, likely you will not find time for it, and then it won't happen. So you've got to choose and pray on what your priorities are right now. I wasn't even really completely sure if I should share this, but I know that there could be a girl out there just like me that watches this, and this might be something that she really needs to hear. So if this is you, this is for you. I have struggled my entire life as well with my body image and with working out and with food. I was the fat kid growing up my entire life, and I still view myself that way, I think, because that's how I was for as long as I can remember. So even though I'm now not fat, it's like stained into my mind. And I've always had fluctuating relationships with food and exercise, and I've had good seasons, I've had bad seasons, but the season I am in right now is a season of, that's the cake. Okay, boom, the cake's all out and they all look stunning. I can't really remember what I was saying, but the current season of my life I'm in right now is taking a step back from restriction with food and with pushing my body in exercise, I suppose you could say, because I've gone through seasons where I've been a binge eater. I've gone through seasons where I've not ate at all, and I completely ruined my stomach doing that, to the point that I can't eat gluten or dairy now because I ruined the lining of my stomach not eating. That had nothing to do actually with the way my body looked, but I'm not gonna talk about that. But then I also have gone through seasons of restriction, because in this time in my life where I wasn't eating, I saw how my body changed and how I was looking skinnier and I was looking like all of the girls that I saw on my social media page, and I loved it. So then did that turn into not eating to be skinny? Yes. I've been up, round, down and all over the place, because then after that I healed my relationship with food, and then that was going great for a time until I hit a slippery slope again of overeating. So then I went into another season of counting macros and tracking macros, because I became, I don't want to say obsessed, but I started to really find joy in like lifting weights and exercising and moving my body, and I wanted to push myself and see what my body was capable of doing, and I wanted to gain muscle. And to gain muscle, it's ideal if you track your macros so you can see how much protein you're getting and make sure you are eating in a slight calorie deficit so that you can lose the fat, so that you can see the muscle, right? Well, again, we hit a slippery slope with that, and I ended up severely under eating calories. I think I was on something like 1,600 calories a day. My maintenance is 2,500 calories, so that's just a little bit under 1,000 calorie deficit. And I was pushing myself in my workouts. I used to cycle sync, so basically doing the more intense workouts during your ovulatory phase and then scaling it back just before you get your menstrual cycle in your luteal phase. But I felt like that was holding me back, because instead of spending an extra week strength training, I was focusing more on slower movement and body weight exercises, and I felt like I was wasting my time. So I kept going with the strength training and the vigorous cardio right up to the point where I got my cycle, to where we are now, and I don't have a cycle. I have lost my period because I have been under eating and over exercising. And I know it's a sensitive topic, and I know my guys probably don't want to be here for this chit chat. That's fine, you can skip. But to my sister out there who might be going through the same thing, that's not cool. That's not a flex. And honestly, I didn't think it was possible. I thought you had to be really skinny to lose your cycle. All that has to happen is you dip below your body's healthy percentage of fat. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you dip under what is a healthy amount of fat for your body, your hormones are not going to be hormoning, and if your hormones are not hormoning, how are you going to have a cycle? And do you know what happens if you don't have a cycle? You can't have kids. You cannot bring children into this world if you do not have a cycle. Now, I know women who still have cycles still have infertility issues, but having a period is a blessing, and I took that for granted. So we're currently in a season of trying to get my period back, eating higher calories. In fact, I'm not even tracking calories. We're not even doing that. Am I having to force food in my throat and fight guilt for eating bigger meals? Yes, but in the long run, this is going to help me. I'm not tracking macros or calories. Obviously, I'm still focusing on protein because I'm still strength training, but I'm scaled it back like 100,000,000% to the point where I'm not even really breaking a sweat in my workout at the minute. My plan, not the most highest plan, this is my plan, is to get my cycle back. And then once I get my cycle back, we are going right back to cycle syncing, where I will then be able to push my body at the right times, where it's not going to affect my hormones and it's not going to have a negative impact on my body, but a positive impact. I.e. in my follicular phase and in my am I even saying that right? Sorry, in my follicular phase, and my ovulatory phase, when I can push my body safely is when I'll be doing the cardio, the vigorous cardio, the lifting as heavy as I possibly can, perhaps eating in a slight calorie deficit, Joanna. When we say slight, we're talking like we need to be eating at least 2,000 calories, because with 1,600, I don't know what I was thinking. And this could be a warning sign to you, even if you've not lost your cycle yet, but you are overtraining and you are under-eating, and deep down know it. Stop it right now, please, I beg you. I know it's not that simple, but even if I can bring light to your situation that you're trying to hide, because I was in denial. I was in complete denial that I was under-eating and over-exercising because I wasn't skinny, so I didn't see the problem, but there very clearly is a problem. And so yeah, if I'm able to get my cycle back healthily for a couple of months, then I will be able to go back to pushing myself at the appropriate time in my cycle, and then scaling it back when I need to scale it back, and not denying hunger cues, because that's the other thing. I can't even really say that because that's the other thing. I don't have the hormone that tells you when you're full. Do you understand how dangerous that is? So all this intuitive eating, I can't be doing it because I never really feel hungry, and no, that's a lie. I do feel hungry sometimes. It takes a lot for me to feel hungry, and it takes a lot for me to feel full. Intuitive eating scares me because I could either just forget to eat and not eat at all, or I could eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat all day and feel nothing. So I suppose instead of saying I should listen to hunger cues during the later phase of my cycle, just focus on eating more carbs, eating more healthy fats, because that's the other thing. Carbs are not the enemy. Carbs are not the enemy. We need carbs to function, and the amount of exercise I was doing, I needed carbs. I wasn't giving my body carbs. Healthy fats, that's the other thing that I wasn't doing, and healthy fats are crucial for hormone production. So your avocados, your healthy oils, your oily fish, your nut butters. Okay, this is when I really knew there was a problem. A video came up whilst I was scrolling on YouTube Shorts talking about how, oh, if you want to get your period back, you need to make these food swaps. And so you know what they did? They brought out the egg whites. They were like, we need to stop with the egg whites. We need to be eating whole eggs. That was the first punch in the stomach. They brought out the powdered peanut butter. They were like, no, we need to be eating real nut butter. And I've actually switched to almond butter because it's better for my skin, because it contains more omega-3s than because peanut butter has more omega-6s, so it's inflammatory. It doesn't really matter, but I've switched to almond butter. They brought out all of the fat-free milks and the almond milks and all that, and actually that's not one I can switch because, like I said, I can't eat dairy. You know, they brought out all of the diet foods and were like, we need to be eating real food, and we do need to be eating real food because the Father has given us real food. He has given us real food to fuel our bodies with, and we still go for the processed stuff. And the processed stuff is not just like McDonald's, chocolates, no, that's not just processed stuff. Protein powders, protein bars, powdered peanut butters. If you tamper with food in its natural state, it's processed. And the Father has given us whole good food, so focusing on whole foods. So yes, that was a whole rant, but I pray that someone who needed to hear this hears this, because this is exactly what I needed to hear like months ago, and I didn't hear it. There was nobody to tell me that, and so now here we are. and I'm hoping someone will hear this before it's too late. It's not too late for me. I'm gonna get my cycle back. I'm praying for my cycle back. The Father will give me my cycle back. I know that. I have faith. And if I'm eating enough and I'm not over exercising, there's no reason why it shouldn't come back. But I don't miss the restrictive eating, but I do miss pushing myself when it comes to my workouts. And that's also why I said earlier I want to start running, but I'm not going to start running until I get my cycle back. But I have a lot of physical strength, but endurance is something I do really want to build on. And running will push my body to a whole new level, push my body within reason. Okay, because we're not coming back here. We're healing. We're on our way up. When you hit rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but up. So anyways, that was a whole rant. I'm going to go do my jobs. I've implemented like closing shifts of like the house, where everybody has a set job that they do in the evening, just to kind of reset the house ready for the new day, because quite often the house just wouldn't get the tender loving care I needed at the end of the day at all. And so then jobs would just pile up, and so then my weekly cleans often felt overwhelming because it's a week's worth of mess. Because I live with two very chaotic people who don't really like clearing up after themselves, so, and I'm very particular, and they're just like, yeah, we'll just leave everything everywhere. So we're on a rota. Someone washes up and like cleans the kitchen each night, just, you know, going down all the sides, anti-packing everywhere. Someone hoovers the house, and then someone goes around and just like tidies, you know, folding blankets, fluffing up pillows, popping stuff back where it needs to be. So I'm on hoovering tonight, so I'm gonna go do that, and then I'm going to do the sociology homework that is due tomorrow. I've got a 12-mark question to answer, but I'm pretty sure we only have to do one paragraph of it. I'm not really sure, but in theory, if it's a 12-mark question, it's only supposed to take 12 minutes, a mark a minute for AQA. But it'll probably take me a bit longer since it's my first 12 marker for sociology. So, and it's all about education, so that's fun. So I'm gonna write that, shower, and then we're actually going to make time to rest. And we're probably going to sit down with one of my sweet potato brownies. That is my way of trying to encourage more healthy fats and calories into my day. Did I nearly have like, I don't want to say pass out because I didn't actually nearly pass out, but you know what I mean. Did I nearly like the first time I had a sweet treat after dinner again in a long time? Yeah, I did. But like I said, we're healing, and 2 nights in a row now I've been able to eat that sweet potato brownie without feeling guilty. And before you say, why don't you just eat a real brownie? Like, why can't you eat a real here's the thing, like, I really have never been, well, I've been like that for sugar, but ever since I cut out processed sugar, like, I don't crave that stuff anymore. Like, I don't, okay, sometimes I'll lay in bed at night and think, oh, you know, I could really do with a cinnamon roll right now. But honestly, often, no, like, I'd rather eat the healthy version. That sounds so strange, but I would. Also because I'm a volume eater. Like I said, I don't feel full, so I'd rather eat more healthy food than, like, less unhealthy foods. I'd rather eat, like, the bigger healthy brownie than the smaller real brownie. Just personal preference. And also it's got sweet potatoes, which are good for your luteal phase, because like I said, we're hopping right back on that cycle syncing. It's also got almond butter, healthy fats to help hormone production. Do you see what I mean? We're fueling, we're using Yahuwah's given foods to heal myself. So instead of taking drugs and hormone replacement, whatever, we're using real food to heal. So I'm gonna curl up with my sweet potato brownie. That was a really long explanation just over a brownie. I'm gonna curl up with my brownie, and we're going to watch something, probably The Chosen. Okay, I know there's beef around The Chosen because they use all white actors, and I don't like that either, but it's way better than watching some secular show. If you don't feel comfortable watching it, I absolutely understand that, but it's really brought the New Testament to life for me, bearing in mind that that's not what the disciples or Yahusha looked like, and his name was not Jesus, but that's an argument for a different time. So I'll probably watch that and chill. The fact that that's a foreign thing is not normal. Rest, guys, rest. And it's the preparation tomorrow anyway, so Shabbat. It's Shabbat soon anyway, so I'm gonna go hoover, and then I'm gonna knock out this work.
Your faith never fails. my light, my hope, my strength. When silence falls like shadows deep, and tears fall when no one sees.
I don't think I understood the assignment because we were only supposed to write a paragraph, right? And I had a lot to write, and I feel like if you typed this up on a computer it would be a paragraph. My handwriting is just big. But I'm gonna need to ask my lecturer what I can take out, because I ended up writing that. Hold on, there's more. That, and then that. But like once I start, I can't stop. I have to say everything that I have to say. I can't cut any of it out because it's all important. I promise I'm not waffling. Oh well, at least I can say I've done the homework, because if you ask for a paragraph and I show up with that, he'll either be pressed that he has to read it all, or he'll be grateful. I'm gonna go shower now and begin to unwind. So get ready with me, I guess.
He that dwelleth, he that dwelleth, he that dwelleth in the secret place of El Elyon shall abide under the shadow of El Shaddai. I will say of Yahuwah, he is my refuge and my fortress, my Elohim, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
So I am very ready to clock out for the night. Everybody else has gone to bed. I just wrapped the cake so it doesn't go dry, obviously. It's like 10:30. I spent way longer than I thought I would writing that essay for sociology, so I don't actually have time to sit down, watch a program and eat my brownie. But that's okay because I'm not really desperate for a brownie, and I think sleep is the best form of self-care for me right now. But there's a couple bits I want to do first. I need to write out the things I need to do tomorrow so they're not spinning around my mind as I'm trying to sleep, and that's something that I've implemented, is writing down the things I know I need to do the following day, because otherwise I will all night thinking about, oh, got to do this tomorrow, got to do this tomorrow. Just write it down. And then I'm going to reply to some of your guys' comments, message my dad back. That's it. And then I'm going to go to sleep because I need to be up at 6 tomorrow. I don't have the flexibility to be up at 7 because college, I need to be in college for 10. And I want to make sure I've worked out and gotten ready and done all that good stuff before then. So thank you so much for sticking with me throughout this day in my life. I hope you enjoyed spending the day with me as much as I enjoyed spending it with you, and I pray that there was something for you in this video that the Father uses to speak to you and bless you with. Thank you all so much for all the love and all of the support and for being amazing subscribers, and it's bringing me so much joy to see the community that the Father is building here. It makes me so happy. Thank you so much all of you for watching. I love you lots. Yahusha loves you even more, and I will catch you in the next one.
He shall cover you with his feathers, and under his wings shall you trust. His truth shall be your shield.